No sign trash, Shalom Israel. Shapar, which means horn. Good enough. Call up the first brother. Step up. Station registry.
Sha'atwan, Banapariam, Ban Yasharala.
Sha'atwan, Banapariam, Ban Yasharala.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Okay. Shapar again. Good enough. That's why I don't like drinking too much before. Sorry, Slocky. That should be enough. You should drop.
Ayasharala, which means to Israel.
No sign Christ. Shapar, which means horn. That time I got it. Khan. Imagine, which means to stand, Sawa Panya Hakodam, turn and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Stop, bro.
Oh, God. Abanawa,
Shabbat
Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutka, Taba'ah, Batazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Akam, Kal, Yawam, Asalak Lanawa, Kawawath Noah, Kazalak Noah, Kawawath Noah, Wala'ah, Tabaya Noah, Banasaya one, Abal, Hawashai Noah, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, La'awalam Yam, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hebrew, Salaki, we're going to power structure. Your turn. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Allah Hayam.
Why Allah Hayam.
Matazabiyah. Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapya. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kwataza Yanyam. Hakaya Yawyam. Waha Akwatyam. Yahweh Bahashem Yehoshai.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. These are the curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure. Of the rich of Israel. That refuse to give to the school. Force their riches.
riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
Their drug dealers.
Court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Kamataza. The gay movement. Lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way that try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let them cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it be known by all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Causing a shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Sa, which means turn. Yusabim, which means to be seated. So we are in Genesis still. We're going over Pharaoh's dreams. So the next thing we have to cover. We're in 41 and 24, correct? All right.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 24. Watha bala'ayin hashabalyam harakwaf shabai hashabalyam Ataba waf wa amar al hakara tamyam wa ayan magayad laya. Verse 25. Wa ya amar yawasa al para'aya kalawam para'aya Akkad, Hawa'ah, Ashar, Ha'alahayam, Aisha, Hagayad, La Para'ai. Verse 26. Shabai, Parath, Hatabath, Shabai, Shanyam, Hana, Washabai.
Parath, hold up. Continue.
Hashabalyam. Hatabath. Shabai. Shanyam. Hana. Kalawam. Akkad. Hawa'ah. Verse 27. Washabai.
So we're clear. Par is a bull. Parath is a cow. If I'll have to do more research. Hold on. Do a little more research. Let me just make sure. See what this is. Parar. Okay, that's a bird. It's a breakout. Par is or Parah is a cow, is a bull. Parath, the feminine, is a cow. More than likely, the difference is a lop just means the breed, if that makes sense. There's rooster, there's chicken, and then there's a word that lets you know the family. There's male, female, human. Para is bull, Parath is cow, Alap is probably the grouping of the type of animal, like a cow. We call them cows. They're usually called after, and for whatever reason, in English, we refer to that breed of animal after the feminine, because usually I guess that's what we eat. But yeah, come. Same thing with chickens. We usually, nobody says rooster. It's chicken and cow. Those are the feminines. Come.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 27. Washabai, Haparawath, Harakwawath, Wahara'aith, Ha'ilaf, Akar Yahan, Shabai, Shanyam, Hana, Washabai, Ashabalyam, Harakwawath, Shadapawath, Hakwadyam, Yahaya Wa, Shabai, Shanya, Ra'ib.
Right. Keep going.
Come. Verse 28. Hawa'ah, Hadabar, Ashar, Dabarathia, Al, Para'aya, Ashar, Halahayam, Aisha, Hara'ah, Af, Para'aya. Verse 29. Anah, Shabai, Shanyam, Ba'awath, Shabai, Gadawal, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarium. Verse 30.
Last verse.
Wakwamawa, Shabai, Shanya, Ra'ib, Akar Yahan, Wanashakak, Kal, Hashabai, Ba'arataza, Matazarium, Wakala, Hara'ib, Af, Ha'arataza.
Soon the land. Khan. Now in English?
Khan. Genesis chapter 41, verse 24. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. Verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do.
Now stop. So we're clear, God does not deal with heathens, but God will use a heathen for our benefit, which is really what this is. The reason Pharaoh got this and not anybody else is because Joseph was in Egypt. God does not deal with heathens. I say this all the time about Islam. God does not deal with Muhammad. If anyone ever tries to tell you that, that is a lie. Okay? Pharaoh got a dream in this instance because the Most High knew he would need a Jew that he had in his vicinity in one of his jails that could interpret the dream. The Most High knew that this would help in his aims for Israel, not Egypt. Egypt eventually will lose all this money they're about to make. Egypt became a world superpower and strengthened their hold on the planet because of Joseph. And about 700 years later, it's all going to go down the toilet because of, literally in their own words, men who forgot of Joseph. Exodus says this. A new king reigned over Egypt who did not know Joseph. Right? That's in the beginning of Exodus. That's the beginning of our enslavement inside of Egypt. And then at the end of our enslavement, every piece of wealth that they had, we left Egypt broke. You know what happens when you have to shut down your entire country for 3 days because it's completely darkness? You know what happens to your tourism when people find out their entire plumbing system is full of blood? You want to go vacation in Hawaii now? Yeah. What happens to all the exported food when the locusts eat it all? All the wealth that Joseph's about to give them, because of their greed and the fact that they want to forget the good fortune that we've given them, it's going to be destroyed. Similar to how America's about to have a sick day if they really do the evil they want to do to our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Look up Operation Wetback. Operation Wetback was a way to keep America sustainable during World War I. Ask the Mexicans to work in the fields. And the Mexicans gladly did it. Operation Wetback was because too many farm workers had to go fight in World War II, leaving the farm industry very short-handed. Import Mexicans. And that's what they did. And now they want to tell these people, who else did the same thing? Operation Windrush. They did the same thing to the tribe of Benjamin. That's right. In the UK. And now they're trying to kick them out now too. That came out recently. Okay? They forget the good fortune that we do inside these countries. We build up countries, only for them to forget about us decades later and generations later. And that's why me personally, always know the struggle of your ancestors, especially in this place. My father was called, I don't take pride in understand. I'm not saying things like this to say take pride in it. Just understand, if your father fought for this country, that's a form of paying into the system, whether he liked it or not, whether you like it or not. If your parents are tax-paying individuals, your grandparents were tax-paying individuals, that's a form of them paying into this country, whether you and I or they liked it or not. You're entitled to things at the end of the day. You should always understand that. Like when I look at things like when it comes to welfare and so on and so forth, I tell people, please, if you are entitled to it and you can get it lawfully and legally, please get it, or else Eric Garner's killer will make more money on overtime. The cat who recorded Eric Garner's killing will be harassed by more cops who get paid to harass him, because that was a big thing. It came out in the news. The cat who recorded Eric Garner's killing kept getting harassed and stopped by cops after Eric Garner's killing, years after. Right? Please get welfare. Please get housing assistance, Section 8, whatever this government gives. Otherwise, the people that oppress us will just collect the money to further oppress us. The murder of Black or Hispanic is worth $1 million. When you do the math, they got to pay the unis, the corresponding unis, and they got to pay the detectives, then they got to pay the coroner, then they got to pay so on and so forth, the judge, the COs, and all that. All that adds up to $1 million. Get Section 8 and move your man into the house secretly, so nobody has to die, and the white man doesn't get $1 million. Please, Khan, read that.
Khan, verse 27. And the 7 then and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears lasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
Yeah, they're about to have 7 years of famine. So we're unclear. This is a worldwide famine. By worldwide, I do not mean a literal worldwide, the entire known earth, which probably at that point was pretty much most of the Middle East and Africa. And people probably didn't make their way to Turkey by then. The known earth suffered from a famine. Nobody really had food. Everybody was at the mercy of Egypt, and technically at the mercy of Joseph. Continue. Salaki, I thought you were going to read from?
Khan, verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
Keep going.
Khan, verse 29. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty.
Now stop. Salaki, keep going.
Khan, throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 30. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt.
Meaning what? There will be no plenty. Like, you'll forget that it'll be so drought, it'll be like it was never rich out here. That's how poor you will be. Keep going.
And the famine shall consume the land.
And the famine shall consume the land. Right? Keep going.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 31. Wala'ah, Yawada'ai, Hashabai, Ba'arataza, Bapanya, Hara'ai, Ahawa'ah, Akarya, Khan, Kaya, Kabad, Hawa'ah, Ma'ad. Verse 32. Wa'il, Hashanawath, Hakalawam, Al, Hara'aya, Ha'aimyam, Kaya, Nakawan, Hadabar, Ma'ain, Halahayam, Wa Mamahar, Ha'alahayam, La'ai Shathwa. Verse 33. Wa'aitha, Yara'ah, Hara'aya, Ayash, Nabawan, Wakakam, Wayash, Yatha, Wa, Il, Arataza, Matazarium. Verse 34. Ya'aisha, Hara'aya, Wayapakwad, Pakwad Yam, Il, Ha'arataza, Wakamash, Ath, Arataza, Matazarium, Bashabai, Shanya, Hashabai. Verse 35. Wayakwaba Tazawa, Ath, Kal, Akal, Hashanyam, Hatabath, Haba'ath, Ha'alah, Wayataza Barwa, Bar, Thakath, Yad, Hara'aya, Akal, Ba'aryam, Washamarwa. Verse 36. Wahaya, Ha'akal, Lapakwad 1, La Arataza, La Shabai, Shanya, Hara'ai, Ashar, Tahayayan, Ba'arataza, Matazarium, Wala'ah, Thakarath, Ha'arataza, Bara'ai. Verse 37. Wayayatab, Hadabar, Ba'ayanya, Para'aya, Waba'ayanya, Kal, Ibadyawa.
Okay, most sound correct. So in the English. Oh, Slakia P, can you give me Romans 9 and I want to say 15? Yeah, Khan, I'll pull it just to make sure. Read what you got.
Khan. Genesis chapter 41, verse 31.
17 actually. Paratazan, go.
17?
Yeah, Khan.
17?
Yeah, Khan. Let him read first though.
Verse 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following.
Right.
For it shall be very grievous. Verse 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by the Most High, and the Most High will shortly bring it to pass.
Yeah, so what he's saying is, for emphasis sake, and I'm bringing that up to of the Hazahah, because that actually is a part of the language. Emphasis, usually, when you want to emphasize something in Hebrew, you usually double it. He's mad. Yo, son is mad. You ever heard that term? Like, yo, son is mad. Like, he's not mad, he's mad. Nah, he's not stupid, he's stupid. You understand? Basically, we repeat things. You probably heard that throughout life. But somebody will repeat something so you understand. It's another level of that thing. He's not, shorty bad. There's a lot of these chicks that's bad. That's a supermodel right there. Come. You'll find that. Khan, read on.
Khan. Verse 32. And for that, the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. Sorry about that one. Verse 33. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Verse 34. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years.
Right.
Verse 35. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them good keep food in the cities.
Right. So now, not only has Joseph understand what literally just happened here. You have a slave, right? Now, possibly, maybe they told him his pedigree and such. I'm just gonna bring this out because it's relevant and it can be researched. We do not put our stake or necessarily teach Josephus as if everything he said is correct. It is known, according to Josephus, all the brothers we weren't stupid, we were educated. Okay? It's a known fact, according to Josephus, and I believe Captain Zaryak is even attested this is true. Abraham gave the Egyptians, about a century prior to this event, the mathematics to properly build a pyramid, because pyramids are built off the Tower of Babel. That mathematics comes from Babylon, which is where Abram is from. So when he made his way into Egypt, the time with Sarah and say you're my sister, around that same time period, you'll even find the old structures pre-Abraham, and it looks like African slop. And then around the time period that archaeologists and theologists have said Abraham would have been in Egypt around this time period, that's when you have them building accurate pyramids. If you want, if I'm not here, ask next time he teaches, ask Captain Nazaria to bring out the mathematics. Because there's a brother, not a brother, there's a Hamite. His name begins with an M. Josephus is the only known person to attest to this man's existence. Most Egyptologists use this man's records, but the problem is they have to grin their teeth and say the only way we know this man exists is by going to a Jew from around the time of Jesus. So I bring that up to say is that, you have this cat, basically, a slave in jail, is basically saying, I interpreted your dream. Not only that, you should hire me to be your treasurer. A slave who just did 7 years. Right. I'm going to hire you to be treasurer. That must have been the greatest pitch of all. And the Bible, you have to understand, more likely the Bible is simplifying it. Yeah, just find a dude who could do the math. You'll need a cat who probably has this amount of You'll need in economics to understand the GDP, structure, agricultural gains, and how much the average population will need, how much the average family structure will need in order to do this. He's breaking this down. Yeah, I don't think anybody but the nigga telling me what the hell to get can even hope to do all of this. You're in charge. I don't even feel like finding anybody else. GDP and gross income. Joseph, you got the job. You know how I know? Nobody else had the problem with this? He's not in Pharaoh's secret bedchamber. He's in Pharaoh's throne room. The entirety of what you would call Pharaoh's cabinet is inside there. His advisors, his treasurers, his second in command, his generals.
That's right.
And keep reading.
Come. Are you saying that the Israelites built the pyramids?
The Israelites did the physical work of building a lot of pyramids during the time between Moses and so on and so forth. What I'm saying beforehand is that there's evidence in archaeology to back up the idea that Abraham gave the mathematics to build the pyramids, along with his future descendants being forced to build the majority of them. Jennifer Hyman brought this out. Pyramids are a waste of resources. It's basically, these people are too, literally what Pharaoh said, these people are too strong, so I have to do something to make sure they don't attack me and fight against me. Force them to do meaningless labor. If you look at the pyramids, that is a complete waste of resources. With that workforce, you could really conquer more land. But if you got all them people that you're afraid of attacking you anyway, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to empower them and give them weapons? Khan, what are you going to say?
So, basically, the pyramids are tombs.
Right.
For dead people.
Right.
So you're just building you know what I'm saying? You got like a carpet stone for somebody who passed away.
Right.
That's what basically pyramids was, because the Egyptians saw themselves as the Most High, or sons of sons of God. So that's the reason why they build it. And also, what I want to say is so heavy because he didn't do it for Egypt's sake. He did it for Joseph's sake. That's the reason why they flourished.
Right.
For Joseph's sake. Is at the beginning of the chapter.
Right.
You go back in 37, 39. It says, the reason why you got this money is because Joseph's sake.
Right. Now give me Romans 9 and 17.
Romans chapter 9, verse 17. For the scriptures say it unto Pharaoh.
Right? This is what the Bible has to say about Pharaoh, about all this we're reading right now. Keep going.
Even for this same purpose have I raised up. So I raise up thee. I raise thee up.
Meaning for this purpose. This is the reason that he got this prophecy. Not to save Egypt. But read.
That I might show my power in thee.
Yeah, to destroy Egypt. What you're about to see, what you're seeing here is the groundwork of Egypt's destruction. Nobody's afraid of you if you punch. Actually, nobody likes you if you punch a weakling. God raised up Egypt so that Egypt can look like the biggest, strongest person on earth, so that God could then snuff him in the face and say, I'm better. That's why Egypt exists right now. Keep going.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Right? He, made Egypt great, so that when Egypt fell, everybody on earth would know it. Right? Okay, keep reading what you got, Shafal.
Khan. Verse 36. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt.
Right.
And the land perish not through the famine. Verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants.
In the eyes of who?
And in the eyes of all his servants.
All his servants, his treasurer, everybody accepted what this man said out of his mouth. This is wisdom, right? What we're receiving from this man right here is wisdom, right? Okay. Keep reading. We're in the third step now.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 38.
Okay. 38.
Waya Amar, Paraiah, Al, Ibad Yawa, Hanama Taza'ah, Kazah, Ayash, Ashar, Rawak.
That's Rakah.
Slovakia?
Rakah. The Rakah.
Rawak?
Yeah, well, Slovakia in that instance, Rawak it would be, it's a little different. Rawak is like wind. Rakah is spirit.
So why is there a wa in there?
The Rao.
It's the Rao?
Yeah, kind of. That's connected, yeah.
Rauka.
Raka. Yeah, Raka. Yeah, Khan.
Alahayab. Bawa.
Okay. 39.
Verse 39. Waya Amar. Para'aya. Al. Yawasap. Akarya. Hawad Yai. Alahayam. Awathka. Af. Kal. Za'af. Ayan. Banawan. Wa. Kakam. Kamawaka. Verse 40. Atha. Dahaya. Ail. Bayafya. Wa'ail. Payaka. Yashak. Kal. Aimya. Rak. Hakasa. Agadal. Mamaka. Verse 41. Waya Amar. Para'aya. Al. Yawasap. Ra. Nathathaya. Afka. Ail. Kal. Arataza. Latazarium. Verse 42. Wayasar. Para'aya. Af. Taba'aithwa. Ma'ail. Yadwa. Wayathan. Atha. Ail. Yad. Yawasap. Wayalabash. Athwa. Bagadya. Shasha. Wayasham. Rabad. Hazahab. Ail. Tazawar.
The 44 is the last verse.
Pronounce that one more time. The last word for his name.
That last word would be Tazawa'ar. Well, Tazawa'ar.
Is it Tazawa what?
The Y at the end is his.
Yeah,
so
his.
Tazawa'ar.
Oh,
Tazawa'ar is neck in this instance. I understand.
Tazawa'arwa.
Yeah, Khan. The Y is his.
The Y.
I understand.
Verse 43. Wayarakab. Athwa. Bamara Kabath. Hamashana. Ashar. Lawa. Wayakwarawa. Lapanyawa. Abarka. Wanath. Wan. Athwa. Ail. Kal. Arataza. Matazarium. Verse 44. Waya Amar. Para'aya. Al. Yawasap. Anya. Para'aya. Wabala'id Yaka. La'a. Yara Yam. Ayash. Af. Yadwa. Wa'af. Ragalwa. Bakal. Arataza. Matazarium.
Khan. In English.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 38. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of the Most High is? Verse 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as the Most High has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
So basically, so we're clear, for as much, in layman's terms, just like you was the only person who can interpret this dream, you're the only person who can actually figure this problem out and give us a viable solution, which will make sure we survive. Understand, a Hebrew Israelite saved the world. I'm not saying like your literal, like Iron Man, Spider-Man saved the day. I'm talking about, understand what I said from the beginning. This is a known world famine. Had this man not had the foresight and ability and mathematical skills to be able to divide up that food, the planet itself, or a portion of the planet, including possibly a lot of domesticated animals that depend on us to eat, would have been extinctified. The entire world went without food for 7 years. If it was not for one Hebrew Israelite, the entire world would have starved and died. We would not exist. Christ would not exist. Moses would not exist. Heathens probably wouldn't exist. Understand that. This brother's actions saved the entire planet from starvation. Okay? There is no one else on earth with this ability, is what Pharaoh is saying in this verse. Khan.
Oh, Salaka, so I don't know if you want to answer the brother's question. We got Trooper.
Okay.
We got Trooper Tawayala. He's saying, Salakia, sir, if I may, I know this is not has nothing to do with the Sabbath service, but I know a sister in the fake Israelite group who still celebrate Thanksgiving.
So her group celebrates Thanksgiving?
Oh, I don't know.
Did her group celebrate Thanksgiving, or is she just a disobedient daughter of disobedient fathers?
That's right.
Because if you ain't in here, whoever she's learning from is disobedient. 9 times out of 10. Okay? If that's the case, I don't give a damn. Right. You're just a disobedient daughter. What's it called? I don't give a damn regardless. But at the end of the day, if she wants to learn how to actually serve the Most High, she should know not to celebrate Thanksgiving already. But if she's learning from disobedient men and idiots, I can understand why. Understand, I know one group, very famous, they tell their members, come and celebrate these evil holidays with your brothers, but we're just not going to eat turkey. We're going to eat everything else but turkey. But yeah, you should come and celebrate this day with us. Stay in your house on the heathen holidays. Unless it's an already mandated class day. Like we was in here on Thanksgiving. You know why? Because we always in here on the Thursday.
Come.
No one bought a turkey through. Did y'all even have food that day?
I don't remember. No,
yeah, no. So. We just had class. We had the fruit of the word was our food for that day. All right. Yeah. Answer that. She said she wanted to do it for her kids. I'll tell her. Well, I'm gonna be. I don't know how you know this sister, but I don't know her, so I feel no way saying this. To hell with you and your goddamn kids. Y'all can all burn in fiery destruction. That's it. Basically, if you care about this woman's soul, just ask her one question. Don't you tell them no for every other thing, or you just, when you go in the store, you just beg and ask God, please don't let this child ask me for anything because I'm a weak, spineless woman, and I'll give this child whatever the hell they ask for. If the answer is no, I'm a mother and I know how to tell my child no, then I don't give a damn what that child wants 365, 24/7. How many minutes is there in the day? There is no second I care about what a child wants.
That's right.
So long as you're not starving and I can get an AC, I could care less. I'm not here to be liked or to make you happy. I'm here to teach you how to be a responsible adult. Responsible adults don't get what they want. Usually the opposite. Okay, Khan. So keep reading.
Khan, verse 40. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
Meaning he is now vice president. He's in charge of the entirety of the country. Everybody is at his beck and call. Understand, he now decides, like the general of Pharaoh's army now has to work with Joseph because Joseph now decides their rations. Joseph's now sitting down and saying, this is your budget, general. This is your budget, vice president. This is your budget, treasurer. The only person that he can't do that to is Pharaoh. Can you imagine that? Keep going.
Khan. Verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. Verse 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand.
Right, a ring was a sign of authority in this instance. Keep going.
Khan. And arrayed him in vestures of fine linen.
Arrayed him in vestures of fine linen. Keep going.
Khan. And put a gold chain about his neck.
Put a gold chain about his neck, right?
Verse 43.
Okay, this is to make him look great and show power in him. Keep going.
Khan. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had.
Air Force 2. That's literally what he had him in. My second best chariot, right? There is no chariot better in this country other than mine, my specific chariot. He basically made Joseph vice president. Vice president of, we'll say the UK or Russia. They're not exactly America yet, right? They're not exactly the undisputed world superpower. But a day after Joseph's done, there will be no question who runs everything on earth. It'll be the cat who fed everybody for 7 years. Everybody, understand you ain't got nothing. Imagine you have a famine. You would have to sell all your belongings. And then after that, you better hope you got enough belongings to last you 7 years. You're going to have to then go into debt. To who? Egypt. And that's how you have things like today in America. Chinese. We owe all this money debt to China. Because a time came when we didn't have money, we didn't have resources, we didn't have this. So we had to go and beg the Americans. We had to go and beg the Chinese. Well, a time came in the past where everybody had to go and beg the Egyptians. And thanks to the wisdom of a wise Jew by the name of Joseph, an Israelite by the name of Joseph, they had the money, they had the resources to loan and give loans to the entire earth. And here's what they don't teach you inside of your what's called school systems. You know how he was able to do this? Because his father didn't raise dummies. His father didn't allow his children to be idiots. He taught his children wisdom and understanding. Okay? Pharaoh, understand, when the Israelites got there, they were put in charge of Pharaoh's house. We're shepherds. Good. Run my house. All my sheep, all my goods, y'all in charge of it now. And if any of y'all are skilled in warfare, I'm going to need y'all to do that too. That's in the Bible. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did not raise dummies. Abraham took his servants and destroyed a whole town. Destroyed a whole army that already done beat up 5 cities. Sodom and Gomorrah is really about 5 cities.
That's right.
They got their behinds whipped. Lot ended up getting captured. Abraham, one rich dude and his servants, killed everybody. Got his nephew back and said, yeah, I don't even want these spoils. And just said, I'm just paying tithes. Y'all can keep the rest. Okay? Keep going.
Khan. And they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him rule over all the land of Egypt.
Yeah, right.
Verse 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
Meaning what? There is no, I'm reiterating this to you to your face. Maybe yesterday, I understand this is probably the first good shower you've had in years. In like 14, 15 years. Understand like how low Joseph fell. 12 years a slave doesn't do him justice. Imagine being Prince Archie, or what's the actual one that's going to inherit the throne? What's the actual one that's going to inherit the throne? What's Kate's son's name? I know Archie's the so-called black one. But what's the son's name?
You talking about
the UK prince, the prince of the UK.
No.
Yeah, that little baby, that's Joseph. Son, his best friend is Joseph. Like, I don't think you understand how rich Abraham was. I just explained it. Joseph took down an entire empire, which had robbed another empire. And then afterwards said, nah, I'm good. I'm rich enough already. Y'all can keep all this. I'm just paying tithes because I'm lawfully obligated to. I understand. Tithes is what? Your increase. That's Abraham, in paying tithes, that's Abraham mentally saying, I know everything I see right here is mine. Everything on this table is mine. Right? This is my increase from God. This is 10%. Here you go, Melchizedek. Yeah, y'all can have the rest of this. I don't need this. I got a house full of gold at my house. And that's not my house. That's a storehouse. I have a storehouse full of gold. And outside that, I have double that in chickens. And then I have triple that in cows. And 10 times that in horses. Y'all can keep all this on the table. His grandson, great-grandson, which was raised by two men who probably, in the case of Jacob, remember, he swindled his uncle who swindled him out of all his money. Yeah, all right, Jacob, since you work for me, anything that's spotted out of my sheep, you can keep. All the sheep came out spotted. Now you're broke and I'm rich. And then I'm going to go home and inherit the most of my daddy's stuff, which is whatever he built off of Abraham's stuff. You know how rich Jacob was? His son became a slave. Then he became a prisoner. You know how low you come down from that? You're a Trump. You're Byron Trump. You are the youngest son of Donald Trump, a billionaire. Now you're a slave and now a prisoner. You know how low that fall is? And now you're vice president of what will become the most powerful world superpower possibly in the history of the earth. You don't believe me? That's in the Bible. Why don't you go to a woman and say, why didn't you have all kids at the same time? Because no woman can do that. Well, that's how it is. Each child is going to be weaker than the child before it. So what does that mean? America is not as strong as Egypt. America is not as strong as Babylon. America is not as strong as Rome. America is not as strong as Greece. Egypt is probably the most powerful world superpower. Understand, I've just explained. The entire world had to go into depth because of these people. And we know they had no qualms against slavery. The white man is such a wicked bastard. Y'all don't understand, he's a weak bastard. When I say he's weak, oh, thank you. Here's the cunning of our oppressor. I'm going to use a few examples. I'm going to use the Chinese. I'm going to use the Irish. Now, this is free Catholicism as far as the Irish. Okay? Jesus loves you. No, we want to keep our leprechauns and our rainbows. The Chinese. Jesus loves you. We want to keep our fireworks and our dragon festivals. Okay, Jesus loves you. We can what? What? Yeah, keep whatever. Jesus loves you. That's St. Patrick's Day. I don't care about a Chinese New Year. Just respect that all business will be done as far regarding a Gregorian calendar. No one cares about your personal calendar. You can keep it, but Jesus loves you. Adhere to Christian ideals, and that's it. Egyptians, Babylonians, so on and so forth, worship our God and completely conform, or we just slaughter everybody. Our oppressor's too much of a coward. We'll let you keep half your culture. They're weak bastards. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't militarily strong. They had the phalanx. They had the tank. They have great military advancements. The Bible even tells you that they're gifted with the sword. But as far as going in and strong arming their people, they don't have that. That's not in their skill. Like, there's being a bully and there's having a good gift of gab with some strength. Babylonians and Egyptians had a good gift of gab. Yo, what's going on? Yeah, you see Ra over here, this beautiful deity, so on and so forth. You see Tammuz, like, you see how great he made me, how strong he made me. You saw, like, that cat over there, he didn't want to listen to me. So, like, obviously, with the strength of Tammuz, I had to end him. I don't like ending people. So you understand? No. Like, what's it called? Just, Tammuz doesn't want to end you. He doesn't want to make me force this to you. He's a great griffin god. And what's it called? Ra, he's the sun. The sun brings life, brother. Ra wants to bring life to you. So how about you leave whatever BS you follow along, and we can have this. The Greeks, mostly everybody worships a feminine god. So we don't have to fight them. Yeah, we worship Zeus. So he had sex with your god and said it's okay for us to be with you now, because now our gods are married. And that's actually how they did it. The Greeks used to notice a lot of their constituents worship women. So yeah, Zeus married your god and allowed us to conquer you. What group in the Middle East did he have a problem with? Okay, we worship a man, and guess what? He's not home. Finish that off. God, through water. Salaki, let me get a refill when you got it. Yeah, God, through water.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 45.
This is what, fourth or fifth?
This is the 1, 2, 3, fourth one.
Fourth call, go.
Waya Kwara, Para'aya, Sham, Yawasap, Tazapanath, Pa'aina, Wayathan, Lawa, Ath, Asanath, Bath, Pawatya, Parai, Kahan, An, La'asha, Waya Taza'a, Yawasap.
Now, Shlaki, let me just bring this out. I believe I brought this out last week, but I'm going to bring it out again. This is one of the first things before I even came into the truth. Play devil's advocate all you want. No, I'm going to play devil's advocate all you want. Okay, everything up until Jacob is white. The 12 tribes, for the most part, married Hamites, though. The same one right here. This is Joseph married Pharaoh's sister-in-law. That is a Hamite. Yeah. We have on record both of Judah's quote-unquote wives, or the women Judah reproduced with, Hamites. Yeah. So after that fact, we know there was melanin at least introduced into the family there. What y'all doing? Keep going.
Khan. Isle, Arataza, Latazarium. Verse 46. Wa Yawasap, Ban, Shalashim, Shana, Ba'aimadwa, Lapanya, Para'aya, Malak, Batazarium, Wayataza'ah, Yawasap, Malapanya, Para'aya, Wayaibar, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarium. Verse 47. Wata'aish, Ha'arataza, Bashabai, Shanya, Hashabai, Lakwama Tazayam. Verse 48. Wayakwama Tazah, Af, Kal, Akal, Shabai, Shanyam, Ashar, Hayawa, Ba'arataza, Matazarium, Wayathan, Akal, Ba'aryam, Akal, Shadda, Ha'ayar, Ashar, Sabayabath Yaha, Nathan, Bathawa Ka. Verse 49. Wayatazabar, Yawasap, Bar, Kahawal, Hayam, Harabah, Ma'ad, Aid, Kaya, Kadal, Lasapar, Kaya, Ayan, Masapar. Verse 50. Walaya Wasap, Yalad, Shanya, Banyam, Batarium, Dabawa, Shanath, Hara'ib, Ashar, Yalada, Lawa, Asanath, Bath, Pawatya, Parai, Kahan, Awan. Verse 51. Wayakwara, Yawasap, Ath, Sham, Habaka War.
Baka War is firstborn or elder. Keep going.
Kanawakan. Manashah.
Manashah is Manasseh. Keep going.
Kanawakan. Kaya. Nashanya. Alahayam. Ath. Kal. Aimalya. Wa'ath.
His name comes from the shun, which means to forget, deprive, or exact. Keep going.
Kanawakan. Kal. Bayath. Abayah.
Wow.
Genesis. Genesis chapter 41, verse 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath Pa'aneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Patai Pharaoh, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. Verse 46. And Joseph was 30 years old.
And that's interesting. Now, stop. Brother, you ever realize that? What does that mean?
Read it again.
Read that from the top, 45.
Verse 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath Pa'aneah.
What does that mean?
I ain't look it up.
No. What did he just do though? What did Pharaoh just do?
Oh no, Pharaoh Pharaoh already put him in power.
No, what did he just do though?
And he named Joseph.
Right. So what does that mean?
Oh no, that means a big thing. You have the king of Israel. King.
Think of the story we're about to get into probably next week. This man has a different name now.
Because Pharaoh knew he was a lot.
A bunch of niggas are about to come from the Middle East and be introduced to a nigga named Zappanea. Meet our great ruler, Zappanea. Okay, who is this? Y'all spies. What the fuck? How does he think we spies? Yeah, tell him I think they spies, because I'm speaking in Egyptian and they don't really realize I know full well no Hebrew, because they taught it to me. How does this nigga named Zappanea know about our brother Joseph? My name is Zappanea. That's what you will refer to me as. Yes, Mr. Zappanea, please let our brother Benjamin out of the prison. My name is Zappanea. They changed even his name for this ruse. For the rules he's about to do in the next chapter. His name is complete. They're not calling him Joseph. They're not calling him vice president. They're calling him Zappanea. Speaking Egyptian. You're going to find out the whole time he's speaking to them through translator. Imagine, I'm acting like I speak Spanish. I speak perfect English. And having a nigga translate. I'm having Sha'atwan translate for me in the English, and I'm speaking Spanish. Like, tell them, and while y'all over here saying, yo, we robbed our budget, now that shit's coming back on us. I'm just sitting here looking like, yeah, I can understand every word you're saying better than my translator can. Come, keep reading.
And he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. Verse 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Verse 47. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. Verse 48. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, lay he up in the same. Verse 49. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number. Verse 50. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. Verse 51. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For God said, He hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house.
Okay, let me do this next step. So this is 52. Wa'ath Sham Ha-Shanya Quara Apayam Kaya Ha-Paranya Alahayam Ba'arataza Ainyaya. 53. Wa'atakal Yana Shabai Shanya Ha-Shabai Ashar Haya Ba'arataza Matazariam. 54. Wa'atakal Yana Shabai Shanya Haraib La Bawa'a Ka'ashar Amar Yawasap Wa Yahaya Raib Bakal Ha Arataza Wa Bakal Arataza Matazarian Haya Lakam Wata Raib Kal Arataza Matazarian Wa Yataza Tazaik Hain Al Parai Lalakam Wa Yamar Parai Lakal Matazarium La Koa Salakia Lakwa Al Yawasap Ashar Ya Amar Lakam Ta'aishawa Wa Haraib Haya Io Kal Panya Ha'arataza. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. Right? Waya Patak Wa Salaki Yawasab Af Kal Ashar Baham Waya Shabar La Matazarian Waya Kazak Haraib Ba'arataza Matazarium. 57. Wakal Ha'arataza Ba'awa Matazariuma La Shabar Al Yawasab Kaya Kazak Haraib Bakal Arataza. Oh, that's the last verse. 42 and 1, right? This is the last verse, right? Okay. Wa Yara'a Yaiqab Kaya Yash Shabar Ba Matazarium Wa Ya Amar Yaiqab Laban Yawa Lama Tata Ra'awa.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 52. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for the Most High hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Verse 53. And the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended. Verse 54. And the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said, and the dearth was in all lands. But in all the land of Egypt there was bread.
Right.
Verse 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, where he saith to you, do. Verse 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt.
So he did it. Once the famine finally came and people realized we ain't got no food, go to Joseph. And he opened up the storehouses. And this is when you're starting to realize this is a bigger problem. It's over the entirety of the earth. Understand, when it says earth, or Ratazah has context. The flood is not the entire, America was not flooded. Turkey probably was not flooded. Earth in certain contexts means humanity, meaning where humans live, where there's life, is in that context earth. The known world will experience the famine. So the Middle East, Africa, those surrounding areas, probably not too deep into Ethiopia. Basically where humans had cultivated and migrated by the time of in between Noah and Joseph, which is maybe barely a few thousand years. Keep going.
Verse 57. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn.
Why? Because the entire face of the earth is experiencing famine. Keep going.
Because that the famine was so sore in all lands.
In all lands. It was bad everywhere. No one had food except for Egypt. Right? Come on. Next verse. About 42 and 1.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 1. Now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look one upon another?
Yeah, how are we going to get food? How are we going to get food? How are we going to get food? He found out the Egyptians got food. Right? And now, just so we're clear, you can have all the meat in the world. What's the problem, though? Can you live off a meat diet in a famine? No, how? You can't. Why can't you live off a meat diet in a famine?
It's like it will get affected.
How?
I would say the disease will cause it not.
No, it's a famine. A famine is just a lack of food. The food's not growing. There's no vegetation. There's no bread. There's no broccoli. Nothing's growing out the ground. Can you have a meat diet? You got to actually think. Think about it. Come on.
Sir, because you have to feed the animals.
Yeah. What you gonna do when there's no wheat to feed the sheep? The goats like hay.
You're going to eat the animals.
Yeah, no. Well, there's no. What's it called? All the animals are gonna starve at the same time, though.
Go.
not like you can keep those around for 7 years. So it's a race against time. Because understand, that's not your food. That's your money. That's the clothes you're going to sell for the next how many years till that animal dies? And then possibly at some point, you're going to question, can I eat him? If a famine happens, you're about to lose hundreds, possibly thousands of sheep in the matter of a week. This is a race against time to find food to not only sustain yourself, but to sustain your livelihood. Joseph saved his family. Give that brother a hand. Okay,
So I can sorry if I may. In spite of what happened to him, in spite of what happened to him, he still thought about his family with loving and understanding.
Forget about it.
What his brothers did to him, he didn't hold a grudge.
Right.
And that's why Leviticus chapter 17, chapter 19, verse 8 through verse 18 to 19 is so important.
Right.
Don't hold no grudges.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the reason why they got affected. If they hold grudges, you're like, yo, they did that to me, forgive them. Forgive my family.
They can all die.
They did me wrong. I was on, I was showing no more brotherhood, but they still did me wrong. Right. He could have said that, but he never did it. He never did it to the point that he showed so much love. If I may, he showed so much love. You don't go into the scripture, but he showed so much love that they thought he was lying. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, when Pop's died, you know what I mean? When Pop's getting unalive, he gonna do this to it. Joseph never thought that. He was just happy to see his brothers and family. So,
right. Right. I'm gonna take this last set. So what's called? Okay. So now this is the last set. Okay, and we're seeing you don't do evil to your peoples. This all started because they didn't realize the Most High's words, right? So they wanted to go against their brother. They didn't understand what was being done. Now, I'm going to talk to General Hyman about it, but this stems from favoritism. It wasn't just Joseph. It was how Joseph was being treated by Jacob. I want to say, I'm not going to say any more of that, but because I can't say if it was righteous or not, because it happens. That's your favorite wife. What's going to happen when she finally give you a baby? As far as that goes, so we're going to get this final one. Huh?
I believe this is set 6.
This is 6? All right, I'm going to do this last one, and then you can have the last one. This one, and then you can have the last one. Waya Amar Hana Shemaithia Kaya Yash Shabar Bamatazarium Radwa Shema Washabarwa Lanawa Shamam. It's right here. Masham Wa Nakaya Wala'a Namawa 3 Wayarad Wa Akia Yawasab Aishara La Shabar Bar Mamatazaria Wa'at Ban Yamyan Akia Yawasab La'a Shalak Yaikwa Aka Yawa Kaya Amar Pan Yafara Nawa Asawan Waya Ba'awa Banya Yasharala Lashabar Bakawat Ha Ba'ayam Kaya Haya Harai Ba'arataza Kanaim Wayawasab Hawa Ha Shalayat Ayo Ha Arataza Hawa Ha Shabayat Lakal Aim Ha Arataza Wayaba'awa Akia Yawasab Waya Shatak Wawa Lawa Abayam Arataza. So like why Yara Yawasab Akiwa, why Karam, why Tanakar, Ala Yaham, why Dabar, Atham, Kwashawath, why Amar Alaham, Ma'ayan, Ba'atham, why Amarwa, Ma'arataza, Kana'ain. La Shabar Akal. Why is verse 8? Why Yakar Yawasap Akayawa. Sorry, Akiwa. Waham La'a Ha Karawa.
Genesis, verse 42, verse 2. And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
Right.
Verse 3. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. Verse 4. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob, sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure mischief befall him. Verse 5. And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. Verse 6. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came, and bowed down themselves before him, with their faces to the earth.
What does it sound like? What does it sound like right here? Joseph's brothers came and bowed down their faces to the earth. You got it?
Sounds like they're worshiping. It's like they had that dream.
Right. His dream of his brother. Exactly. This is exactly what he saw. His brothers bowing down before him. Now understand the second dream, he then interpreted that one. The entirety of the universe is going to bow before me. I am literally, the entire world is now starving, and every country on the earth is literally begging me personally for food. And now look, what do you know? Now my brothers have finally made it. Keep going. Yeah, the Bible can be very funny. Another funny story is the burning bush. A lot of people don't know. That's a very funny story. Keep going.
Verse 7. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye?
Yeah, he's messing with them. Where y'all from? Keep going.
And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food.
We're here from the Middle East, right? The land of Canaan, to buy food. Keep going.
Verse 8. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him.
He knew his brethren, but they knew not. They sold the 17-year-old. I want to say 38. They sold the 17-year-olds. Now they're looking at a 38-year-old. Keep going. Because he got hired by Pharaoh at 30. The Bible just said that. And then it's been 7 years for the plenty, and then some time for the famine. So he's about 38, 39, 40 the most. Keep going.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 9. Vayazakar, Yawasa, Hahalamahwa, Ashar, Kalam, Laham, Waya Amar, Alaham, Maragalyam, Atham, Larawath,
Ragal, oh shucks.
Irawath, Arataza, Ba'atham. Verse 10. Wayamarwa, Alyawa, La'a, Adanya, Wa'aibadyaka, Bawa, Lashabar, Akal. Verse 11. Kalanwa, Banya, Ayash, Akkad.
Okay, so we're clear. Salakia. Salakia to cut you off. A regal is your foot. So my regal is from the foot, meaning my regal is a spy. So meaning like just how, like you walk on your tippy toes, you're walking basically in a way like you don't want people to know what you're doing. You're sneaking around is the spirit behind it. My regal, from a foot. Keep going.
Nakanwa, Kanyam, Anakanwa, La'a, Hayawa, Ibadyaka, Maragalyam. Verse 12. Wayamar, Alaham, La'a, Kaya, Irawath, Ha'arataza, Batham, Larawath. Verse 13. Wayamarwa, Shanyam, Aishara, Ibadyaka, Akyam, Anakanwa, Banya, Ayash, Akkad, Ba'arataza, Kana'aim, Wahana, Hakwatan, Ath, Abayanwa, Hayawam, Waha'akad, Ayan Nawa. Verse 14. Wayamar, Alaham, Yawasa, Hawa'a, Ashar, Zabarathya, Alakam, La'amar, Maragalyam, Akam, Salakia, Atham. Verse 15. Baza'ath, Tabakanwa, Kaya, Para'aya, Am, Tataza'awa, Maza, Kaya, Am, Babawa'a, Akyakam, Hakwatan, Hana.
John. Kotan is youngest. Bakawar is oldest or eldest. Kotan is youngest. Keep going. English.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 9. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
Now, this is so, okay. What's called nakedness does not always mean nakedness. This is the scripture that shows you this. Like, it literally means to a point that shit. What's up under your skirt? Like, there's a saying, you might hear, oh, we're going to check what's under your skirt. But you'll find that in, like, business, too. Like, people, like, before the depression that happened, or recession or whatever, in 08, people would just, businesses, if you got the nice suit on and you on Fortune 500 or whatever, no one's going to question. Okay, here's whatever loan you want. After, oh, crap, Fortune 500 companies were really getting people just off the fact that they have a name. Yeah, now we got to look up your skirt. I'm sorry. We have to see what assets you actually have. That's what nakedness in that sense means. We're looking up your skirt. We need to see what's what. You talk a good game, but I need to see what's under that. Pause. Keep going. If you ever watch, I don't know how old you are, brother. Remember that old movie, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Remember when he finally took Shorty home?
Yeah.
That, yeah. God, keep going.
Verse 10. And they said unto him, Nay, my Lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. Verse 11. We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies.
We're not spies. We're not trying to, what's it called? Keep going.
Verse 12. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
He's messing with them for what they've done. Keep going.
Verse 13. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not.
Right, meaning one is dead. Right, keep going.
Verse 14. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. Verse 15. Hereby ye shall be proved, by the life of Pharaoh. Ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither.
So now, understand, Joseph, the brother he's talking about, is his personal baby brother, right? These are all his half brothers and sisters. Well, brothers, Salakia. We don't really use that term half, but they share a mother. He hasn't seen this boy since the boy was about 9, 10 years old. It's been 20 years, 30, really. Yeah, 20 years almost since he's seen his little brother. Right? There's about a 10-year age gap between them, 8 to 10 or so. Understand, this is his last link to his mama. His mama died giving birth to his little brother. Right? So, yeah, y'all brought everybody but the one I probably wanted to see the most. I want to see y'all. Honestly, I get forgiveness and all that y'all sold me. I want to see y'all. The one I've been thinking about for the last, is the 10-year-old I had to leave behind and leave in y'all care. Yeah, y'all not allowed to leave till he come. One of y'all go get him. The rest of y'all got to stay here. I don't trust you. You're spies. And you're about to see how that plays out next week. But for now, I might come up here. Shapar, which means horn. Okay. Yayan, which means wine.
La'ashala, which means to Israel.
Horn again. Good enough. Salapanya Hakadam, which means to the east. And the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. I imagine which means to stand. Salapanya Hakadam. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakutka. Aba'ah. Matazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratasa. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Nathan. Lanawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalak Lanawa. Kawawaf Lanawa. Kazalak Lanawa. Kawawaf Lanawa. Wala'ah. Dabaya Lanawa. Vanasayawan. Abal. Hawashanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahatapara. Laiwalamyam. Aman.
In the English, our Father.
Which
art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Sign which means to turn. We're in individual. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Individual, I'm Adam Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh. Yajam Matah. Hands down. Dismissed.
All right, clap it up. Next week, we're going to start at Genesis chapter 42, verse 16. Genesis chapter 42, verse 16. We're going to start at Genesis chapter 42, verse 16 next week for the Sabbath service. Shalom.
The water for the holes.